The Callisto Protocol was developed by Striking Distance Studios and published by Krafton Inc. and is a survival horror. It's a Dead Space clone, essentially. That's what it's trying to be. Unfortunately, though, it falls very, very short. Now, Callisto Protocol is not a bad game at all in the slightest. This footage is from my PlayStation 5. I got the PlayStation 5 version of the game, and playing through it, I realised very quickly that it's not a very long game, as in one sitting, the first time I played the game, I got through over half of it. So I was quite shocked, as that was only like 3 hours of playtime, I believe. Now, the game graphically does look very good. It does drop frames on the PlayStation in performance mode, but I tend to find that happens quite a lot with the PlayStation 5 anyway. But overall, the game is roughly around 10 hours long, I'd say. That's what I think I came in at just under 9 for me. But yeah, let's go 10. Let's range it up to 10, because towards the end I was getting a little fed up and just kind of ploughing on towards the ending. But I will say that Josh Duhamel and Sam Witwer are ace in the game, and Sam Witwer needed to be in it more because I love everything he's in anyway. And also the facial animations for the game are pretty good. The other cast of characters as well that you meet, they're also pretty cool, and the world setting that the Callisto Protocol is based in this prison planet, is pretty nifty. Now, you can save anywhere, which is a double-edged sword, of course, because it's meant to be a survival horror, so meant to make you fear for your life, but the fact that you can save anywhere kind of negates a lot of that worry, if that makes sense. Now, there is an in-game currency that you collect to use to upgrade weapons at Reforge stations, which is very Dead Space-esque, as we all know. Combat is pretty cool, being able to dodge and block melee attacks, but unfortunately, the more I played the game, I realised that enemies do the same combination of attacks every single time, so you could just dodge them and time it well. So although the combat is pretty cool for the most part, being able to do all the different things, it can unfortunately then get repetitive, which is a shame. Combat is on the brutal side, which is pretty awesome. I did like that. The game is very gory. The death scenes, especially for your main character, are pretty harsh, and I did think that was all pretty cool. Now, the game is very, very atmospheric, it does massively go in its favour, but this game has more hidden loading screens than I've ever seen more recently. And I'll tell you why, because this game, you crawl through air vents more than Snake. There are more air vents in this game than there is in Metal Gear as an entire franchise, I'm telling you. Now, there are stealth kills that you can do as well, which is pretty cool, although stealth is a little iffy for the most part. And the GRP glove is pretty cool. It's kind of like the telekinesis from Dead Space. You can see the pattern here, where you can launch things at enemies and stop enemies and that kind of stuff. There are convenient spikes located on the walls, enabling you to launch the enemies into that and spike them, which is pretty cool. There's unfortunately a lot of scripted events in the game, which alleviates a lot of replay value. But the game is worth playing through at least once if you can get it cheap enough. I think I got the complete edition of the game for about a tenner, although I think I could have got it less, because I don't think I'm going to replay the game. There are some, like I said, the grisly deaths, especially on your main character, are pretty cool and whatnot, and enemies can mutate during the second half of the game, so you kind of want to take them down as fast as you can. But unfortunately, because the game is so similar to Dead Space, especially Dead Space Remake that's come out, is better. And that doesn't mean Callisto Protocol is a bad game. Not at all. It's not a bad game. It's not a terrible game. It's just unfortunate that I played the Dead Space Remake last year, and then I played the Callisto Protocol way after its launch, and because I wanted to check it out because I'm a survival horror fan. And although it is a very, very good looking game, it's beautiful, and Sam Witwer and Josh Duhamel doing a fantastic job, it's just unfortunately it falls short in that area. And yeah, it's just, if you're a survival horror fan, there may be something here to offer you, but I would advise getting it on a sale and as cheap as you can get it, because I don't think it's got much replay value. But please let me know down below what you think of Callisto Protocol if you checked it out, and as always, thank you very much for watching.
Listen. Hey, come on. Come on. Oh, God damn it.